Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene. I am going to do some random facts for you tonight. I wanted to wrap this series up by the end of the year, but geez, we're already on December 29, and I still have one more video to go after this one. Tonight we'll be doing facts 91 through 95. I want to go to 100. I see no reason why I should stop at 95. We'll just start the new year off with the end of this series, and then I will be doing another series, which I'm going to have a little chat with you guys about during a video at some point when I don't have anything to talk about. I have a lot of ideas that you guys gave me, and I'm just going to pass them by you so you know what you can expect in the new year for videos. If you want to get caught up on this series, facts number 1 through 90 are in a playlist, and I have the link down below in the description box so you can read the whole fascinating series and know all kinds of things about me that you absolutely do not need to know. Okay, let's get started with number 91. And this has nothing to do with the fact that I'm on an all-meat diet. It is something that I've always done, and you guys are going to gross out. You're going to say, oh, that's dangerous. You can kill yourself that way. You're going to get so sick. But I grew up in a family, and I know it's not just my family. I don't know if it's French Canadian in general. I know there's a lot of people in this world that probably do this, but I only know of how I grew up and what I was given as a child. I love raw beef. Love raw beef. We used to eat it freely years ago. I mean, just anytime there was a beef roast or steak or something, we would just all go for it, slice it up, munch on it. But then people started worrying about getting sick or a salmonella or what. I don't even know. I don't even know if I said that right. But I never stopped eating it. I didn't. I was ready to die that way. That's how much I love raw beef. Now, do I sit down and eat a whole roast? No, but I did come close once. This is back in the 1980s. I just remember because I was getting ready to go to work at the VFW. I was a bartender. I loved being a bartender. And I can just remember vividly seeing myself dressed in my bartender attire, waiting to go to work, and I just grabbed a roast out of my refrigerator, which was a pretty big roast, and I ate like half of it raw. And I was like, oh my God, this is so good. But anytime I cut beef, anytime, all my life, I eat some raw. Now that I'm eating meat, I'm finding out there are a lot of people that still eat raw meat. Some of them prefer it raw and eat all their meat raw. So I haven't really looked into too much about whether it's dangerous or not. I did hear a doctor or someone, I'm sure, that it could be not even reputable information, but it sounded good enough to me. He said that raw meat is not dangerous, but undercooked meat is. Something about when you start to cook meat, the part that would take care of any bacteria or bad stuff gets cooked off, and the bad stuff is still there. So he's like, if you're going to cook meat, cook it fully or eat it raw. That's all I ever needed to hear. So I love raw beef, and now that I cook beef every day, I eat raw beef every day. You can leave now. Okay, number 92. I don't know if I've mentioned this. I'm having such a hard time coming up with facts because I can't remember if I've told you already, but I think a lot of you know that I love math. I was a math major in college in my 30s, and I only was a math major because I loved math. But all through school, I loved math. I loved everything about it. It was like a puzzle to me all the time. I loved even writing with my pencil on that beige math paper that they used to give us, and I just loved math. I just love it. Loved it, still love it, still love to write numbers, still do everything by hand. I don't do any accounting on the computer at all. It's all done by hand, by me, by this hand, with whatever special pen I have available. It's got to be the right pen. I like a pen that kind of writes thick and wet. So easy to please. Number 93, I suffer from vertigo, but oddly enough, I don't have a fear of heights. My vertigo is from the motion. Like if I'm walking up some stairs, I can get very dizzy, and it almost puts me into an instant panic attack or an anxiety attack. I feel like I could pass out. I have a hard time even, I can even tell in my voice, it makes me nervous. When I was taking walks, if I had to step up on a sidewalk, I don't know if it's my vision or just anxiety in general, you know, the fear of falling, but it's like when I take that step, it's like I feel like the earth is moving below my feet. I don't like it. But as for like being afraid of heights, I'm not. I mean, I could be standing on the top of a tower and look down. That doesn't bother me, but I certainly won't want to do the climbing up or down. So it's mostly the motion of climbing that I don't like. Number 94. This was one of the most traumatizing things that ever happened to me. I used to work at Sprague Electric. Any of you who live near Sanford, Maine, probably know where I'm talking about, probably even worked there. And it was just a plant where I did tedious work that I loved because it was piecework. The more I could do, the more money I made, and that's all I needed. It was an incentive to sit there and put little green dots of goop on these little tiny pellets, and I would do that for hours and hours and hours, and I loved it. Lunchtime, got a sandwich at the sandwich bar. They actually had people right there that were making sandwiches. It wasn't out of a vending machine. It was a freshly made sandwich. And I sat down with my co-workers, and as I went to take a bite, a frigging spider crawled out from between the two slices of bread. I cannot believe that I did not just drop dead at that moment. I have never been so traumatized. Not only, I mean, I could remember seeing like little black legs coming out, and I was like, what the hell am I seeing? And then it came out and it like crawled up. It was like it was upside down. It was stuck to the top layer of the bread, and it kind of crawled. The thought that I could have bitten into that. There was a spider in my sandwich. True story. Would I make that up? No. Not even for the additional 10 views it's going to get me. Let's get past that one. Number 95. I have had LASIK eye surgery. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but I've had it not once, not twice, but 3 times, because that's how things go in my world. They don't work like they're supposed to. First time I had it, and this was maybe like 2006, I think, it worked great. I always had to have glasses to see. I was very nearsighted, and I couldn't see, like, you know, anything from maybe 5 feet and beyond was a complete blur. So I always had to wear glasses since I was like around 11 or 12. But then most of my adult life I wore contact lenses, but then I got tired of those as I got older, so it was always glasses, and glasses always bothered me. I'm always hot. I don't like them on my face. So I wanted LASIK surgery. And at the time, my nearsightedness wasn't affected yet. Now, as you get older, you start to lose your nearsightedness, which is why almost anyone over the age of 50 has to wear reading glasses to read. I wasn't at that point yet. So I got the LASIK surgery, and it was like heaven. I could see so far. I could still read. I mean, I had the best vision. I could not believe I did not have to wear glasses anymore. And that lasted for maybe a year, and then I noticed I was starting to see blurry, and I couldn't see close, and it was making my distance look weird. So I went back to the same surgeon, and she explained, you're losing your nearsightedness now. I was like, well, what? Why did I bother to have surgery if I was going to end up being in glasses again? But she said, we can adjust one eye to make it good for close and leave the other eye good for far. So she said, we can do that. It wasn't even going to charge me because the operation was like $6,000. And I was like, am I going to have to pay another $6,000? And she's like, no, we're just going to do that one eye and tweak it, and don't worry about it. We're not going to make you pay. So I was like, okay. So she did that. She changed one eye so that I could see close and one that I could see far. I could read without glasses, and I could see far without glasses, but it wasn't nice and clear. It felt like it was off, and I did not like it. And she said, keep it this way for a while. You should get used to it. You'll get used to that, you know, the separation of depth or whatever. So I think I went another whole year, and I could not get used to it. So she said, if we fix the other eye now, to make you have just good vision for the distance, you will always need reading glasses from that point on. So she said, let me give you a contact lens to put in your eye so that you can see how miserable you're going to be when you have to always have glasses to read. So I did that for a while, and sure enough, I mean, I could see clear, far, but I needed reading glasses to read, and since it was only affecting the one eye with a contact, I would actually like slide the contact over so I could read. I decided to go ahead with the third surgery and get my distance vision good and completely lose my nearsightedness, because I felt like I didn't think I'd ever get used to that off balance thing, especially with already suffering from vertigo. I don't know. For a long time, I was just really bummed that I had to wear reading glasses all the time. But every time I'm in my car and I can drive and I can see clear, far away, I still say to myself, I'd rather have to put these things on to read and be able to see a nice, clear distance, because I grew up not being able to see far at all. So that was my decision. She didn't charge me for the third surgery either. That's it. I feel like I rambled forever. Wouldn't that be funny if my camera wasn't even on? You can always tell if I move my eyes over there real quick, it's because I'm petrified that I forgot to turn the camera on. I need a big, like, warning, like if the red light is not on, horns need to blow. Oh, let's not talk about horns blowing. That was funny in Walmart. Okay. That is it, folks. I will try very hard to come up with 5 more random facts, and then we're going to start a new series. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.